Yes, love's a secret weapon. Yeah!
Hi, I'm Donna Loren.
And I'm Dr. Adam Gerace.
And you are listening to Love's a Secret Weapon podcast.
Hi, I'm Dr. Adam Gerace, and welcome back to Love's a Secret Weapon podcast. Back in June and July of this year, I was taking a summer vacation in Italy, Croatia, and Greece. And well, Donna and I thought that you might like to join me. So we connected 2 times, once in Alberobello in southern Italy, about halfway through my trip, and then in Milan in the north of Italy, where I was preparing to head home. You might remember Donna telling you about her experience in Alberobello, which is famous for its Trulli buildings. We hope you enjoy this short travel diary, which you can listen to or watch if you'd like to see some of the famous Trulli, as well as beautiful Milan. And we look forward to continuing to connect with you on Love's a Secret Weapon podcast.
Well, welcome back, Love's a Secret Weapon community, and I am calling in from the delightful city of Alberobello in Puglia in Italy, where I've been in Italy for the past couple of weeks, and so I decided I would say hello to Donna while I'm here because she has a bit of a story of this wonderful place as well. And I'm going to spin around and see if I can show everyone the very special type of house that they have here.
Yes, it's called Trulli. And Alberobello, this little village, is still functioning the same way for all this time.
I'm only here for one night, so it's a very quick trip. But you did this trip many years ago as well.
Oh, darling. Well, it's pretty phenomenal that you're there, and yes, I'd love to reminisce with you and
Right.
our community of Love's a Secret Weapon, and take you back to 1967 when I was in Italy, and Warner Brothers had asked me to record a movie, a theme called Once Before I Die, for a film in Italian. So phonetically, I learned the song in Italian and recorded it. Actually, I also recorded it in English. And then they sent me down to Alberobello. And my journey, I must say, we talked about it in my memoir, with the clickety-clack of the train from Rome down to the Adriatic at the point where
Mhm.
it's almost the end. And then you go up the mountain, up to this little town, this little village that's been there forever. And
Mhm.
there are ruins there. Have you seen them?
No, I think this morning we're going to go for a bit of a walk around. It's about 6:30 in the morning here. So once everyone's up, we're going to do a little trek. I'm doing one right now just so our viewers and listeners can see, but haven't seen the ruins yet.
Okay, well, the skies are beautiful there. And yeah, right outside the town, not too far, are the Roman ruins. And so that's where I did a video of this song in Italian that would be the theme song for a movie. And yes, I got to spend a few days there and got invited into one of these Trulli houses. Really got the feeling for it. I saw one red Ferrari, and the little streets are just wide enough for a donkey cart.
Pretty
And
much, yes.
they're okay. And did you stay in a little hotel?
We have been in a Trulli, so I will send you some photos so that we can share them with everyone. It's a bit dark right now to go in there, but yeah, we did that. And I must say, I've been very brave. I have been driving around Italy down those little donkey, whatever you want it, donkey cart roads with a Jeep. It's a Jeep. They gave me a Jeep. So I've been very brave, but yeah, we just saw we had to stop in here and see it because it's like nothing in the world, is it?
It's true. It's true. And I'll just tell one little story. As I was visiting, I would see a group of men that looked quite elderly. And we spoke about this before.
Yes.
Because it was so profound when I saw them. And I was 20 years old. You know, noticing this group of elderly men that were sitting on a park bench in town. And I thought they were quite old. But turned out they were only around your age. But they had been working since they were children in the lime fields, in the, you know, digging out stone and grinding it and turning it into what they whitewash all their buildings with, you know, and lime apparently, you know, now I'm going to skip. I'm going to skip because I just heard someone talking about using lime again, because in the ancient days, the lime combined with something else created this longevity for architecture. And the Trullios are very well insulated.
Yes, they are beautifully cool. In the middle of summer where we are here right now.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was there exactly the same time of year, and everything shuts down around 12.
Still does.
Reopens. Well, you know, I snuck in a limone gelato.
Fantastic. It's much needed in this kind of weather. We've been having there's something here, well, there's something in Calabria where we were formerly just before here called bergamot, and it's used in a lot of perfumes and a lot of, they make a lot of gelato out of it. They make a lot of drinks out of it. So we've been having tons of that, and it's very refreshing in the you know, in the middle of summer.
I think that's a geranium from the geranium family.
Ah, right. Well, from what I heard for years, for many, many years, the Italian people were told they farmed it, and they farmed it mostly for use in fragrances and things like that. And they were told that the actual fruit was not safe to eat. And that's not true. They were just told that so that they didn't go and start eating them and basically waste this really precious fragrance in there. So they've only been really using them for drinks and food and things like that for the past 30 or so years, even though they've been growing them for, you know, hundreds or more. So yeah, a little interesting story about that. But this is an absolutely beautiful town here.
And the region that you've been traveling in with your husband is Sardinia?
No, Puglia.
Sicily.
Sorry. Yes. So we started. So we've been here for about 2 weeks, and we started in Calabria, where my family's from. And I look forward
Oh,
to when we do our next conversation to really delve into that, because that was really interesting to see where
oh, I'd
everyone was
love
from.
to know. Oh, that sounds marvelous.
So we did that, and then we went to Sicily, and we were there for a 3 or 4 days. Really bustling, very lively, but wonderful. And now we're here. So we came back to Calabria just so we could spend a couple of days at the beach at a place called Tropea, which is absolutely stunning. And then we drove over here. It took about 4 hours to drive through Bari and on to, as you know, onto Alberobello.
Yes, and so now that you have completed your Italian vacation, you're off to Greece. And
Off to Greece.
yes, that sounds marvelous. Well, I'm really happy that we got to meet up. So it's
So
such
remotely.
it's so crazy. I mean, this world is just getting smaller and smaller, which is really marvelous.
Mm.
And when I was there was no way that we would have been able to do this. So
Absolutely. It would have been a telegram, which they still have the little card shops where you can, well, probably not a telegram, but you can send postcards and all of that. So I have a feeling that the city will be sort of waking up soon, and so
Oh,
delightful to be able to do this. And let's see if we can hook something up for Greece, where I'll probably be able to sit in the hotel and set myself all up with a view of the Acropolis.
well, I'm already putting my suntan lotion on. So
Yes, you will
take me
definitely need
with
to
you.
here.
Take me with you. I love it.
There we go. Well, wonderful to speak with you, and wonderful to speak to all the Love's a Secret Weapon listeners and viewers. And we will chat soon, as I say, arrivederci.
Arrivederci, ciao bella.
Sotto i trulli di Alberobello che l'han reso famoso nel mondo, non ha cuore chi non canta giocondo, trullallero lallero lalla. Sotto i trulli di Alberobello, se felici pur senza una lira, forse è colpa d'un certo vinello che fa dire trullallero lalla.
Hello there. How are you?
Ciao, Bella.
Yes, ciao. Oh, my goodness. Look at, no, you can see I'm outside a church.
Why, do you need to pray on this Sunday full moon?
I might stop in for a quick prayer.
I think that would be wise, especially since you're en route back to home, right?
Yes, very true. We're leaving tomorrow morning, and it's going to be a good, let's see, 12 hours to Singapore, then 16 hours layover, and then 8 hours to Singapore back home. So it's a long, long transit.
Oh my God, this is such a big world, but at least you're not going to Mars.
That's very true. Always
But
looking at the positive.
oh my darling, it's so wonderful to see you. Please share with our community what a phenomenal, magnificent journey you've been on.
I'm happy to, and I'm very looking forward to when I am back home, really sitting down and laying out all the stories. But it's been 5 weeks. I think since we last spoke, it was Alberobello, which was probably about 2.5 weeks ago. And since then, after that, we went to Croatia for a couple of days.
Oh, wow. How about that? Let's pause for a moment. I've heard so much about Croatia.
Absolutely beautiful, because there's the beautiful old town, which is just, I mean, it looks like a fortress, basically. And it's just so interesting and historical and absolutely beautiful. And where we were staying, we were kind of above the city, which means we had to do about 150 steps up and down to get to the apartment we were in. But the sunsets could not be beat once you were up there. It's just, you know,
Well,
whether you
carry your luggage up 150 stairs.
We did initially, yes. So that was a lot. This is travel.
But Adam, that reminds me, and I'll just interrupt for a moment, that when I moved to Bisbee, my piano, my grand piano carried up 24 stairs. So
A piano is probably a much more difficult prospect, I have to say.
By four very muscular men, thank goodness.
Yes.
Yes. But anyway, that's the only correlation to make. Okay. So
Well,
you look wonderful. And Croatia,
thank you.
does it have beautiful beaches?
It did have some nice beaches. We went to an island one day, so we hopped the ferry and went onto an island and got to swim in some water. I have to say, Australia can't be beat for beaches in terms of our white sandy beaches. They kind of have more the rocky sorts of beaches, but it was still very lovely.
Wait a minute. Now I have to interrupt you again. What about Malibu?
Well, yes, Malibu can't be beat, I think, completely. But Australia and Malibu definitely on par. And Hawaii, yes. So we're very lucky because in Europe the beaches are nice, but not as nice there. So we went swimming, which was quite, some of it was a bit intense. You kind of had to hold on to a rock, or you were going to get sort of. I'm a bit chicken of the sea like you, so. So have to be a bit careful. But Croatia was beautiful, very, very historic, very. It looks like something out of, a completely different time, but very lovely. I must say quite expensive, so we had to be a bit careful. But this time of year, I think summer, everything's going to be expensive. Could
be a Montenegro from Croatia?
We didn't go to Montenegro, but we did go to Bosnia for a day trip, though. Very beautiful, very historic, but interestingly, so much of the architecture there, because it was destroyed during the war, even though it looks like it was hundreds of years old, it's all pretty much been rebuilt. So it's all actually quite recent. It's just they I guess, used the original stones, they went for the original look, but most of it in Bosnia is actually completely rebuilt from the time. From recent times, I should say. I am currently, just for our listeners who are watching this on video, I'm currently in Milan, and you wouldn't usually expect necessarily to think of Milan as being so green, but it is absolutely green at the moment.
I would say, paralleling that, I'm in the desert, in the mountains, and because of the monsoon season, we have an explosion of life on this mountain.
Yes.
And
yes.
Turned it from dry and brown into gorgeous green. So it's happening all over.
It's very not what I expected. I mean, we're staying, because this is our last little bit, so we're staying quite close to the airport. So we're kind of, we're quite out of town. But it is very green and very lush. And I don't know if everyone can sort of see some nice sort of houses behind me. So quite lovely. So we did Croatia for a few days, and then we went on to Greece. So we started in Athens, which is absolutely chaotic, but so much fun. Chaos. I think you just have to go with it.
Did you have your fair share of cuisine there?
We did. It seemed, what did we have? We had a lot of stuffed vegetables. So there was lots of stuffed tomatoes and stuffed capsicums or stuffed peppers. There was lots of meatballs, lots of souvlaki, lots of vegetables done in different ways. So lots of stuffed vegetables, which was good because there was so Bob and I were traveling for the first couple of weeks together, and then we met up with a couple of friends, Mark and Michael. And so one of them's vegetarian, so we kind of had to make sure we could do that and did the usual tourist stuff. We went and saw the Acropolis and the Rawns and, spent evenings kind of in the markets and things like that.
I see. How the environment, you said, was kind of chaotic, but just among the people, did you feel like people were in harmony with each other, or
That's a good question. I think in some ways Athens was. I think people were just, particularly people who live there, are just used to it being, quite busy, and they kind of move around in a bit of a dance. It's a bit like when you watch the driving on the roads and you go, how does this actually work? But it does. Everyone kind of does this weird kind of ballet. But I have to say, because I went to Greece many years ago, about almost 20 years ago, and I think that was right before the GFC, the global financial crisis. And so coming back, I think Greece was hit quite hard, and I think it is recovering, but it's difficult. So it's got a bit more of a harder edge to it, I think, because I think they've been quite affected. But That being said, we went to beautiful family tavernas and ate delicious food there. So that was wonderful. But yeah, a different kind of vibe. But, it's historic. It's the birth of Western civilization and Western thought. So she's kind of a big deal, with that Athens.
I would say so. At one point, I was studying amphitheaters, and definitely, I think we've spoken about it, that,
Yes.
the ancient Greeks had a very holistic view of medicine, and as well Hippocrates. But the amphitheaters were actually built with catacombs beneath the stage, and mental patients were brought to catacombs to hear the play, which would have served behavior, as well as the crowd listening to support the mentally challenged and understand through the play. So yeah, you are definitely in the heart and the birth of civilization, for sure.
It's quite tremendous, and certainly on your way, when you start at the beginning of the Acropolis, as you go up to, see the Parthenon and everything else, there's an excavated amphitheatre, which is kind of mostly ruins, but that was a very important one. And then there's actually one which is much bigger, but seems to still be used today. So they've kind of modernized it. And I think it's used for open air classic plays. So, very vibrant. That old and the new is very well mixed.
Exciting. Well, and the old and the new is very timely. So I think we're through a new time capsule. Interesting that you and Bob chose to go to Europe at this time.
Yes, well, I have to say, as listeners might know, if they've been studying the weather or looking at anything, it's probably the hottest time you could come over here at the moment. It is incredibly warm. Right now, it's very humid in Milan. Athens was incredibly hot, so you kind of needed to. I get why they've got all the little newspaper stands, because you kind of need to do a bit of walking, stop for a cool drink, keep going, stop for another one, go have a nap, and just be very careful.
That's very practical, especially
sunblock.
Good advice.
Sunblock.
Yeah, well, sunblock, but the sun is good for you, taken in small doses, and first in the morning. So stay hydrated.
Yes,
right?
Definitely hydrated. Absolutely. We were very careful. More in the evening was a good time to kind of go out in Athens. But, after Athens, and again, I'm kind of giving a précis or a taste, and be interesting to talk more about it when I'm back. But after that, we went to a couple of islands. We went to Mykonos, which is quite lively, but beautiful.
Yes.
And the beaches are wonderful.
I've never been to Greece, but, I think is it called The Tempest? Yeah, it was filmed on one of the islands there, starring John. Wait a minute. Oh gosh, Jenna Rowland's great.
John Cassavetes.
That's always one to revisit.
Absolutely, great actor.
Molly Ringwald.
Ah, yes, I did hear she did this. Was it recently or?
No, it was quite a few years ago, even 20 or more years ago, but still, anyway. So now you're in the countryside of Milan. Is that because you're closer to the airport?
Yeah, we decided, because we're only here for a night. We got in late last night. The flight was so we went after Mykonos, went to Naxos, another beautiful island, which, we'll talk about more in the future, I know. But yes, we thought, given we're only here, we got here last night. The flight was quite delayed, so we got in quite late. We thought, stay by the airport. We went for a bit of a drive today just to see some family that I've got here, which was lovely. And of course, typical Italian family, where, they say, oh, we're just doing something light. And of course, the pasta comes out, the cheese comes out, the cotoletta comes out, the dessert comes out, the dessert wine comes out. So, they're like, just something small. I'm so sorry that we really didn't put much effort in. I'm like, oh, this is not no effort. Oh, what are you eating there?
Well, this is my morning
tea. Cheers.
Yes. Oh, cheers. Oh my gosh. You're making me drool.
It was very impressive. So we've done that, but we leave tomorrow. So we thought we'd just stay around here, which is perfectly quite charming. You know, the houses are beautiful. Where we went today is a place called Seste Calende, which was really beautiful on the river. I hear supposedly sometimes the river breaks its bank, and so there's kind of a whole lot of water on the, I guess, the walkway or whatever. So people just get out a boat and away they go. I don't know how true it is, but it sounds good.
Centuries of practicality, honestly. Yes, they're
Absolutely. Always be prepared.
Well, it looks like you've been taking very good care of yourself while you're traveling. And this is such a time to, to explore.
Yeah, we were very fortunate that we were able to take the time during the middle of the year. It was very, in some ways quite spur of the moment. Let's just do it. And I managed to get the time off work. But yeah, we're very fortunate. I'm very grateful that we've been able to do it. You do kind of get to the end after this much travel of going, I do need to go to the hairdresser and get a treatment. You kind of feel like you're living out of a bottle for the better part of a month.
Oh.
So, that kind of thing is not so fun, but no complaints. So yeah, no, it's been wonderful.
I'm so happy for you. Well, I'm so delighted that we've made this connection.
Absolutely.
I have the privilege of traveling virtually with you.
Yes, absolutely. And I do have a lot more. I did see some family. That was, quite an interesting experience. People that I've never met and, never known anything about. And that's, very interesting. And so I look forward to sort of talking more about that. But yeah, there's a lot more stories and of course what you've been up to as well in the interim.
Absolutely, my love. Well, then I look forward to our reunion when you arrive home and continued safe journey, you and Bob, on your, I can't even remember how many hours you're going to be in the skies, but
I think it's about 17 days or something like that. No. No, I'm not even going to think about it. I think tomorrow when I land in Singapore, we might leave the airport and just go have a look around or something, just to move around a bit. But then after that, get back and go from there.
Oh my, well, that sounds just incredible. And look where you are. It makes me feel like there's such a connection where you are. It looks like it could be anywhere on earth where people living their peaceful lives and uninterrupted. And I'm so grateful for that. So
absolutely. It is.
Yeah.
It is. I must say, I don't know if if viewers or listeners can see this, but some of that, just that yellow of some of those apartments, I've never really seen that anywhere else before. There's just this color in Europe that they use that is very unique.
From the sandstone, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
And it could, it's from the earth. It's the earth's color that they're mixing with lime. And, unlike Alberobello, they just go for the straight lime, which is pure white. But
pure white.
Yeah. So, but I do see what you're saying. And when Jared in France and Monte Carlo, we saw that same. So I think it's part of the Mediterranean minerals mix, the sea and the salt and the earth and then you get to live in one, in a building made from the earth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's definitely a different, I mean, every place has got its history but particularly many places here, because Australia in terms of from, I guess, English settlement, we'll say, is a relatively young country, although of course the Aboriginal people have been there for so long. But you do come here in terms of that kind of the buildings and so on. It's such a different experience here that things are so old. And I mean, this church, which I'm walking past, I think, there's even a sign. Let's have a look.
No.
I think it was built in 1786. So there you go.
Teenager compared to the Parthenon.
It's a teenager compared to the Parthenon, exactly. So true.
Well, now I recall when I was in Rome that there was a patch of cobble that was supposed to have been preserved where Jesus had walked. And when I stood at the Colosseum and when I drove down the Appiantica Way with the where so many crucifixes were lined up, and and the aqueducts that are still there. I don't know if they're functioning, but I do know that some ancient aqueducts are still functioning because they were built so incredibly.
Yes, so they perfection, and so they keep using them. It's amazing.
So, Adam, you and I, may spend, who knows, in the future, some time in even more ancient land in Egypt.
Could be Egypt. I was thinking Mexico, but Egypt is good too.
Oh, Mexico, the pyramids, Mexico. Well, pyramids in Egypt, pyramids in Mexico. Yes.
Mimosas in Mexico, pyramids in Mexico. Wonderful.
Absolutely. We have a whole world in front of us. So, and
absolutely. So true. So true.
What connecting there. Thank you for taking the time while you're in the midst of your traveling, sweetheart.
Not at all. Happy to do it. It's so good to reconnect. And like we said, we will reconnect soon with everyone. And we look forward to reconnecting with all our listeners and viewers who see some of this. And hopefully I haven't made them dizzy by walking around so much. I hope I've given them enough of a bit of a look.
Well, yes. And we see there is an overcast sky, which gives you sort of a nature's umbrella.
Yes. I think it's actually coming. I think that there's going to be rain or something tonight, which is amazing.
Okay, well, find shelter. When do you take off?
Tomorrow. So right now it's about 7 p.m. here, and we take off tomorrow morning about midday. So we've got a little while left. So tonight will be a very quiet dinner at the hotel because there's not a lot around here without getting into an Uber or a cab. And then tomorrow we'll head off. But I can also see my friend is just down outside the front of the hotel. He's probably gone to get some air, and we'll probably have dinner soon, and that'll be that.
Oh, bless you, honey. Thank you so much. It's lovely to see you, honey. Mwah. Long
Lovely
distance.
to see you.
Ciao.
Ciao, arrivederci, bella.
All I ask is let me know the joy. Let me taste the wine. Yes,